Steven Crowder ignores the psychology of the sale in order to sell a point. As a sales marketing student, there's no way in hell I'm letting this slide. Now, I would like to qualify this video real quick by saying that I happen to agree with Steven Crowder on a variety of issues, and I also disagree with him on others. This is not a condemnation of his character, but rather my attempt to point out the, well, I would say major flaw that I found with his hidden camera footage approach. Let's go.
A horrible pig if I say you have pretty eyes. I don't mean I'll be like sexist or anything. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, we're a couple of seconds in here. Anyone see where I might be going with the problem?
So everyone's seen the famous New York catcalling video.
You're absolutely right. So I'm going to skip over most of the parts where you go over that video because I think everyone is already fairly familiar with it. Let's move on to the hidden camera stuff.
But is this representative of all women, even most women, even a tiny sliver of women? I took a hidden camera to the local mall to find out.
Just before we start here, I would like to take the time to mention that while the issue that I'm going to pick out here does pop up rather frequently, it does not pop up with all of the women he speaks with. It just happens to appear with the most prominent featured clips in the video, and so I figured it was something that, well, deserved a bit of focus.
Gorgeous hair, the bright red. Fine, Howard. Oh, you have a beautiful smile. I love your hair. I like your glasses. Very nice. Well, you have very pretty eyes.
Again, I want you to look for the pattern here because there definitely is one. I don't know if it quite qualifies with the last girl he spoke with here, but I think you're going to start to see it pretty soon.
Looking good, ladies. Love the coat. Can I just say you are gorgeous? Very pretty smile, by the way. Now's your birthday, December. It would be the perfect stone for your eyes. It'd be this.
Okay, if you haven't picked up on it yet, Steven Crowder seems to be targeting... Okay, targeting might not be the best word. It tends to have a negative connotation. Steven Crowder is speaking with quite a number of sales associates here, or at the very least, what the retail world would call a customer service associate. These are people whose entire job is to make sure that you leave there smiling and in preferably a better mood than when you came in. Retail people, I've been there, are used to dealing with some of the worst, most absolutely rude and despicable people in the face of the earth. So a couple of compliments in that, whether or not they find them creepy, probably not going to rattle any cages, ruffle any feathers. So let's keep a little running count here of how many sales associates, or those who could be described as sales associates, Steven Crowder speaks to in his hidden camera test.
Even worse than "Have a nice day, miss," I actually complimented them on their features. Not one woman was offended or mad.
I hate to do this to you, Steven, but again, just because they didn't tell you doesn't mean they weren't uncomfortable by it. Again, I'm by no means campaigning against catcalling here. I completely understand the point that you're trying to get across. I have an issue with bad methodology, even if it's being used to support a message that overall I agree with. Bad methodology can cripple your argument before you even get it off the ground.
As a matter of fact, when I apologized...
Oh, yeah.
I meant that in a non-creepy way.
30. Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's great, thanks. Sorry, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh,
I didn't mean to be inappropriate. I just meant it's pretty hair.
You're fine. No,
okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
And I do have to say here, I think he takes the whole apologizing thing a little too far. It does feel forced. As somebody who's very used to observing human behavior and for whom psychology plays a major part in their prospective career, it comes across very, very forced, very strained. And I don't think that is going unnoticed by the sales associates.
Well, thank you so much.
Sorry, I meant that in a complimentary way, not a creepy way. I know it's... Okay, good, thank you. My apologies. I don't mean that in a... I should. I don't mean that in a creepy way, I mean it in a complimentary way. There you go. Fine, how are you? Oh, you work here. Okay, I thought you were just being friendly. I thought only...
a little of both, yeah.
I thought only pretty girls worked here. That's usually the rule. Not that you're not attractive.
I try my hardest.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll admit I got a little bit of a kick out of that part. It was funny. But yeah, I think we're up to 5 at this point. Carrying on.
You have pretty eyes.
I got it.
I didn't mean it in a way that was sexist or chauvinistic.
Seriously, is anybody else picking up this like really weird vibe as it comes across as he's trying to apologize? They haven't shown any sort of discomfort for the most part. The jewelry sales associate seemed very, a little on the edge there, but nobody else seems to have had an adverse reaction, yet he's apologizing profusely. If nothing else, that's going to make you think something isn't quite right. Hell, that's probably going to make you more uncomfortable than just getting a casual compliment.
Thank you.
I mean that as a compliment. Sorry, not as... I don't mean it'll be like sexist or anything, but saying pretty smile. Okay.
I didn't take it that way.
Okay, because I'm a horrible pig if I say you have pretty eyes now.
I wear literally blue every day almost. So.
Okay. Okay, there you go.
It would be perfect for me. You were correct.
Right.
Okay, normally I'm only dealing with some serious Crowder cringe when it comes to his whole Stephanie Crowder thing at Planet Fitness. But really, this is just, it's so god-awfully it's not that it's the attitude, it's not that it's what he's doing, for the whole video. It's how he's approaching the apology here and how he's kind of, trying to soften the blow while only really making it more obvious that something's up.
Well, okay, good, thank you. It made her day. You know how much it made her day? She then started rubbing lotion on my hands.
Well, maybe she'll just like the lotion here with your hand.
Okay.
Just like rub it in there a little bit.
Okay.
And you'll be able to feel how nice that is.
Fun fact, this girl is actually breaking one of the first laws of cosmetics and otherwise body shop style service. You never directly apply a product to a customer's skin without asking them first. Even then, you would have them apply it to their own skin. You don't spray them with perfume. You don't apply lotion to them. You don't do anything like that. It crosses a line, and it can, depending on allergies. Yeah, I used to work at a department store that had a fragrance and cosmetics area. Knew the girls there pretty well, and again, not something you were supposed to do.
I felt like I was being sexually exploited.
Crowder, I'm actually with you on that one. She did get a little bit forceful and creepy there. But, you're a big boy, Steven. You can handle it.
So what does this prove to us at the end of the day?
Well, Steven, if we count the 7 sales associates you spoke to, I would say that it might prove that sales associates will do things and tolerate behavior in order to make a sale that otherwise they may be vocally opposed to. Now, of course, I can't read their minds. I can't say that any of them were actually made uncomfortable by your experiment, whatever we'll call this. They weren't made uncomfortable by it, at least not to any metric that I can measure. However, you have made a large mistake, and I know you do what you do for entertainment, not for true politics or education. However, a lot of things get thrown around in the terms of what's disingenuous or intellectually dishonest. I do feel that had you have done a more convincing job of simply approaching somebody and making a one-off statement and then only apologizing if they showed some tangible form of discomfort, that the overall video, the impact of the overall video would have been much greater. I couldn't have sat here and poked holes in it saying, well, no, you were acting in such a way as to, if not explicitly, to implicitly convey that something was going on. Obviously, this is a out of the ordinary interaction with this person, so they're not going to be their usual comfortable self. That only skews your results. However, I do understand what you were going for, and personally, I do believe that the vast majority of, one-off compliments and just, polite noticings and comments on somebody's appearance or what they're wearing or whatever the case may be, how they speak, their attitude, most people do tend to appreciate that. And I think it is the oversensitive branch of society that wants to take offense to all of these things that everyone else is perfectly fine with. I've been catcalled, didn't bother me any. Actually, I walked a bit taller on my way home from work that day. So, I agree with you, but I just can't bring myself to fall in line with the tactics, that's all. Overall strategy, overall goal, perfectly fine. Get people to accept that catcalling isn't that bad of a thing. on average. But the tactics of manipulating which hidden camera clips you're going to use, or at least picking out salespeople, it doesn't sell the message that well. Sorry, Stephen. With everything said, though, I would just like to thank my two lovely patrons, Memory Holiday and Wild Tanuki, for their support. I really appreciate you guys. You're totally awesome. And just to remind everyone that if you'd like to support me in what I do, you can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/jtviper. And also, I have a whole range of rewards for the different patron levels. And for those of you who would like to support me, but who'd also like something tangible in return, check out my Basket of Deportables Teespring selection. I figured it was time to take my shit posting to as many platforms as possible, and wouldn't you know it, Teespring was ripe for the picking. If you'd rather be in a basket of deplorables over a basket of deportables any damn day of the week, consider grabbing a comfy hoodie or maybe a snarky coffee mug. Just don't blame me if your coworkers don't appreciate the humor, okay?